for college kids. We dug into disputes between a landlord and UCSD students.
Stage 1 of Lemon Grove's project to rehouse the homeless started this week. We take a check-in on its progress.
A push to help Afghan refugees remain here in the United States. What's being done at the federal level?
The brand new Terminal 1 at San Diego International Airport doesn't open for a few weeks, but today we got a sneak peek.
We did it. Thanks to your donations, we're working for kids. Brady Children's Hospital has a big announcement.
We're celebrating 10 years of community service with the Lemon Grove Lions.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now. Current and former UC San Diego students faced with a rental nightmare. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
And I'm Steve Price. In tonight for Carlos, several students allege a La Jolla area landlord wrongly withheld their deposits. CBS 8's Steffi Roche has been digging into this dispute for more than a month now.
She joins us live from UCSD with what she's uncovered. Steffi?
Well, a UC San Diego student backed out of renting a La Jolla condo, but his father says the landlord wrongfully withheld their deposit. Now he's taking him to court. What I uncovered in my investigation is the fight over a key distinction over California rental agreements. That is a holding deposit, money a potential renter pays so the landlord takes the unit off the market. If the tenant signs the lease, the deposit usually rolls into the security deposit, which covers things like damages or unpaid rent. But what if the lease is never signed? That's where this case gets messy. I spoke with a California attorney to break down exactly what the law says about when landlords can and when they can't keep your money.
In the state of California, if a renter makes a security deposit, can a landlord label that as non-refundable?
Absolutely not. So the law is very clear. With the security deposit, no aspect of a security deposit can be deemed non-refundable by operation of the lease. In fact, the law requires, and it's section 1950.5, requires a landlord to provide certain documentation in order to even deduct anything from a security deposit, namely being for cleaning and repairs, evidence that the cleaning and repairs actually took place.
Tonight at 10 on the CW San Diego and at 11 here on CBS 8, we'll show you one family's struggle to get their deposit money back and tell you what you need to know about deposits so you don't lose your money when renting. For now, reporting live in La Jolla, I'm Steffi Roche, CBS 8.
Definitely an interesting situation, especially because college kids are moving around.
And they need to know their rights.
And a lot of them don't.
They can be taken advantage of. They're young. They don't maybe know all the legal ramifications of what they're signing or not signing in this case.
We'll have to see Steffi's story at 10. Thank you. This week, the city of Lemon Grove started stage 1 of its project to get people living near State Route 94 into housing.
This is all part of an $8.4 million grant that the city received back in March. CBS 8's Alex Cheney was there today and brings us an update on the project's progress. Alex?
Yeah, that's right. This is the area where that stage 1 of the project is going to be happening. They're going to try to find the people who live here on this street a new home. I spoke to a man who lives here today, and he told me that thanks to the outreach from this project, he expects to be moved into permanent housing soon.
But I am on track to be housed any day now. I should be offered a place to go look at any day now.
Elliot Bender has lived on this street in Lemon Grove for the past few months. He says he can't wait to be moved into permanent housing.
Mostly, I feel an overwhelming sense of relief. Just a huge weight is off of these shoulders.
The city of Lemon Grove and the Regional Task Force on Homelessness are working together to rehouse the nearly 100 unhoused people living near State Route 94. Just feet from State Route 94 is going to be the focus of the first stage of the Lemon Grove project. They're going to be rehousing everyone that lives on this street into permanent housing.
Often we hear that people that are living or experiencing homelessness do not want permanent housing, and we're here to bust that myth.
Chris Freed works in the field talking to the unhoused. She was once homeless herself 27 years ago. She says the homeless people living in this area are excited to find a permanent home.
when you talk to folks about opportunities to move into permanent housing, they want to engage. They want to look for units that will meet their needs.
The city says this is just phase 1 of the project, as they'll go zone by zone along Route 94 from the College Avenue exit to the 125. People will first be given services like medical or psychiatric help and then rehoused in the community.
So this is helping our businesses, it's increasing the safety of the community, and it's providing real hope and help to those who need it the most.
Those like Elliot, who will soon have the keys to his own place for the first time in 3 years.
I would say thank you from the bottom of my heart, really, really, thank you. It made me feel like a human being again.
Chris told me earlier that she expects everyone who lives on this street will be rehoused within the next 8 weeks. The city has 2 years to spend that $8.4 million grant. Reporting live, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
Definitely wishing Elliot the best. Alex, thank you for sharing his story. Tomorrow, the San Diego County Sheriff's substation in Lemon Grove is set to reopen. It's been closed for more than a year after it was severely damaged during the floods of January 2024. The city of Lemon Grove worked closely with the San Diego Sheriff's Office to repair and renovate that facility. A ribbon-cutting ceremony is scheduled for tomorrow at noon.
New efforts are underway to help protect Afghan refugees here in San Diego who fear that under the Trump administration, they will be deported. CBS 8's Kelly Hessedall spoke with Congressman Scott Peters and other nonprofit organizations who gathered today at the USS Midway Museum.
Well, Congressman Scott Peters says he's pushing for legislation at the federal level, and he has bipartisan support. He says we made many promises to our Afghan allies, and we need to keep those promises. Now, meanwhile, we also heard from nonprofits today who work very closely with Afghan refugees. And for one man in particular, this is all very personal.
There is a high level of fear, anxiety, depression, uncertainty, insecurity, and hopelessness.
Dr. Mohammed Rahimi is executive director of Afghan Family Services, a nonprofit that helps refugees create new lives here in the U.S. He knows firsthand what that fear is like. Some of his family members are still in Afghanistan, and he doesn't know when or if they'll ever be reunited.
When the country is not safe, when there is no legal and recognized government, when there is no legal and government protection and support and services, then what the life would look like? That's not only for my family and relatives, but this is for everybody, for every single citizen of Afghanistan.
Today, Congressman Scott Peters and other nonprofits such as Afghan EVAC called on the Trump administration to restore the programs that were previously in place to protect Afghan allies living in the U.S. and that allowed their family members to join them here.
We promised the people who stood with us that we would not abandon them. Those allies who stood beside us risked everything, serving shoulder to shoulder with our troops, protecting Americans, and fighting for a chance at a better future.
Breaking promises to our wartime allies does not make us safer. To the contrary, it makes us weaker and makes our warfighters less safe. It says that the United States is not a reliable and trustworthy partner. Why would populations help us next time we need aid abroad if this is how we treat them afterward?
In June, 33-year-old Syed Nasser, who worked as a translator for the U.S. military in Afghanistan for years, was arrested in San Diego at federal court and remains in custody. Dr. Rahimi says the uncertainty of what the future holds is taking a toll.
There is no clear answer about what happens next. We keep living in this situation, and this affects all of us, personally, professionally, and emotionally.
And last month, President Trump made comments that Afghan allies, quote, the good ones who did a good job for us will be taken care of. However, he did not offer any specifics on any new programs or new assistance. Now, I reached out to the White House for comment today, but so far have not heard back. Kelly Hessedall, CBS 8.
Thanks, Kelly. The San Diego Regional Water Quality Control Board has approved a plan to expand treatment capacity at the South Bay International Wastewater Treatment Plant. The order authorizes the plant to treat an additional 10 million gallons of sewage every day, increasing that daily capacity to 35 million gallons. Back in May, the Environmental Protection Agency fast-tracked plans to repair and expand the plant, moving from a timeline of 2 years to just 100 days. A Republican state assembly member has introduced a resolution to split California into 2 states.
This is in response to state Democrats' efforts to redraw congressional maps in their favor. Sutter County Assembly member James Gallagher is calling for the creation creation of a new state made up of 35 inland counties, most of which are GOP leaning. It would be home to more than 10 million people that Gallagher says don't have a voice in how the state is now run.
Because they keep getting tax after tax, regulation after regulation, cost after cost passed on to them. And the elites, the politicians say, well, it's because we have to do this. It's all part of some greater good, but they're the ones who lose.
This resolution is considered a long shot to pass the Democrat-controlled legislature, and even if it did, Congress would still have the final say. San Diego steps up in a big way coming up. The final tally from our Working for Kids Give-a-thon and how that money will help patients at a local hospital.
Also coming up, the new technology that allows doctors to spot signs of cancer they couldn't see before.
And new video of members of an alleged theft crew who stole millions of dollars in merchandise from dozens of stores all across Southern California.
We are seeing those clouds roll in from our Mount Soledad cam as we gear up for tomorrow. A lot of cloud cover tomorrow and also an increasing chance when it does come to some showers. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that complete forecast after the break.